Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? Well, Miss V is back in the kitchen again, and I'm about to try something new. You know, in one of my previous videos, I was showing you that I'm juicing now. So I bought some beets that I juiced, and it was so good, beets. But you know, I'm not real familiar. Excuse me, let me stir my pot for a minute. You know, I'm not really familiar with buying fresh beets because I'm familiar with like pickled beets in a jar or a can that you can pickle yourself. But these are the greens from those beets that I bought, the fresh beets. Isn't that pretty? These greens have red veins in them. And I noticed that they don't juice very well. So I've decided what I'm going to do. You know me and making up my own recipes. I'm going to take these beets. And over here, let me show you. Hold on. Over here. You see that? I got me some onion and bell pepper going right here. I'm sauteing that down. So now I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to take these beets. I've already washed them. And I'm going to add them to this. And I have a bag of kale. And I have some spinach. So I'm going to add all of this together. But what I'm going to do, because those are whole, and you know my motto, if it don't taste good, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to just cut them up right here in this pot. But I thought that these beet greens, I thought they were the prettiest thing. And the beet root that came off of them, they were so big and juicy. I mean, I don't ever hardly remember seeing them too much in the stores. You know, not with the top on them, the green top on them. I see the root in the stores. But never have I seen them in the stores and to be so pretty. I ordered them, and I tell you, whoever did the grocery shopping for me, they did a good job. Because they didn't just pick up no mess. But I thought this right here was the prettiest thing. That is just too pretty. God's creation. Isn't that something? And everything we need to make us healthy coming right up out that ground. Deep red. Look at that. I thought that was the prettiest leaf. I hope they taste as good as they look, because they sure are pretty. But I'm going to mix all these greens together. I had a little olive oil in my pot. And other time, I would have had me some smoked meat in that pot. You know, I've been eating ribs, and they were smoked off the grill, and I thought for sure I had some of those ribs left. Oh, I got the rest of my hand in it. I thought some of those ribs were left. I would have thrown that in the pot. But I mean, with meat cooked in them or not, seasoned good is seasoned good, huh? So I figure if I season them good, they should be good. Whether I cook them with meat in the pot or not. Because I mean, when I cook my cabbage, I don't cook meat in that pot. And they be delicious. Okay, I think that's cut up enough. Also, I got me some kale right here. I'm going to add this kale over here. I see big stems, I'm gonna pick them out as I go. Okay. A little bit of that Louisiana in there. Give it a little kick, not much. And I want to use some Lawry's, but I think I want to use something else instead. I thought to add just a little bit of Lawry's to this pot, but I think I'm gonna add this better than bouillon. I'm gonna add this instead of the Lawry's season because this right here is so good. It has such a good taste to it, but you have to be so careful because it's really salty. So if you're gonna use this, watch it and don't use regular salt. Okay, I'm gonna let that cook for a little bit and we'll check it in a little bit, okay? All right. And I'll be back in a little bit, okay? All right. Okay, so I'm back. Let's see what these greens are doing. They really smell good. Okay. I think they finally got tender. It take as long as collards, but it took them a little minute to get tender. So now I'm gonna add this spinach in here. And the stems, I see they got to come out. Spinach, at least their stems don't be fat stems. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here, not much, because I don't want them swimming in water when they're done. Just enough to steam that spinach down. And after that gets steamed down, then I'll mix them all together. And I haven't had anything to eat yet today. I came in the kitchen to get my first meal of the day, and I thought about those greens. I came in the kitchen to get my first meal of the day, and I thought about those beet greens that I had in my refrigerator. So that's why I had to stop and get those greens together. But now since I'm getting them together and they're just about done, and I haven't had my first meal of the day, what I'm gonna do, I had a large mullet fish last night and I didn't eat it all. So now that will be my first meal of the day. I'm gonna have that mullet fish and some of these delicious greens, because I did taste a little juice and it really tastes good. So maybe you all can join me, okay? All right. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, let's check out these greens and see what's going on. They're smelling good. See how I let that water cook down? I like for that water to almost cook out of my vegetables. I don't like for it to be swimming in water. even if you have to put water in there to get them, you know, to boil them. And I like to cook it down, usually, so all that water can get off. It's like the flavor is in there better. So now you see I got a treat here that I didn't even plan on. I didn't even know I was going to have such a wonderful treat. So now what I did, I had a mullet fish last night for my last meal of the day, my dinner. So now that mullet from last night, I sometimes have a food on my plate just because it looked pretty, but hardly ever can I eat that amount. But that mullet, that's probably half of it, a little more than half. And those are some sweet potatoes there. Doesn't those sweet potatoes look good? And you see I'm gonna have a few of these greens here. I'm gonna call them the trifecta greens. Or the triple G. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna use any margarine because it's not as healthy as butter. But I'm gonna use just a little bit of butter on my potato. A little bit. And just a little bit of cinnamon. See that? And I like that Kale Gold butter. Now, turn that off. Take some of these greens here. I tell you, I was going to eat that fish, but I was just going to scramble an egg with it. See that? Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Got me a good mullet fish there that I broiled in the oven last night. And my sweet potatoes, I usually keep sweet potatoes. I bake them and maybe cut them in half and put them in my freezer. But sometimes even when you have a sweet tooth, that sweet potato is good. And it's a carb, but it's a healthy carb. Well, okay. Well, let's try it out and see how it tastes. Well, let's see how this meal tastes. Doesn't it look good? I didn't know I was going to have such a wonderful meal today. Let's see how these greens taste first. Tastes good. The only thing I regret, the next time I'm going to fix a pot with only the beet greens, because I taste some of the beet greens by themselves and they had really a good taste. So I think I would like to just have a pot of just the beet greens. Now it didn't take as long to cook as it would collards. It probably took about a good 45 minutes to cook these greens. They are really good. I mean, I've been trying so many different things lately with food. trying to eat healthy and trying to have change in my meals. If you notice, a lot of times if you're a regular with me, I eat a lot of sweet potatoes because that satisfies me, especially if I have like a sweet taste, and potatoes are hearty. I tell you, the potatoes and the greens are so good, I don't hardly want the fish. Well, this is probably past my weigh-in date because my weigh-in date was January the 8th, which is on a Saturday, because today is, I have to look at my calendar. Today is January the 5th. So my weigh-in date is the 8th. So by now, by the time you see this video, I'll be on the second part B of my weight loss journey. Because certainly up until the 8th of January, that wasn't the end. In fact, that was pretty much the beginning of dropping the bucket for my weight loss journey. Because I know it's going to take time to get the weight off. This is good. And you know, something like these greens, I mean, if it's a day that you got the munchies and you want to just keep eating, you can munch on something like this, and it's good. Because you know, if it's not good, Miss V not gonna eat it. So it tastes good. Just like that dressing recipe that I concocted and invented myself. Excuse me. That dressing is really good. The only thing I think that I would have done differently with that dressing, that vegetable-based dressing with the broccoli and the cauliflower, I would have put more smoked oysters in it, maybe an extra can, and an extra can of the crab meat. That's the only thing I would have done differently. And that's for people that like seafood or oysters or crabs. Now, if you don't like that, you can just omit the seafood. But you still could maybe crumble up chicken in the stuffing, or even crumble up pork. When you're eating bone-in fish, you have to be careful. And that's what this is. This fish has the bone in. Some people won't touch it. But I think I've been eating bone-in fish. I remember I was so little, I was standing under the table. We had big tables outside, like a big gathering. And I remember standing under the table eating fish with the bone in. Well, it's almost time for me to get my little one. These greens are so good. I'm just so surprised that I've never had beet greens before. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to my channel. And thank you for joining me as I cook my beet greens and my kale and spinach together, my green pot. You were so patient. I really appreciate that. And thank you for taking the time just to keep me company while I eat my first meal of the day. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you subscribing to my channel. I'm really grateful and thankful. And if you're new here, and it's your first time coming to my channel, and if you like my video, please subscribe. I would really appreciate that. That is so good. And please leave me a comment. I try to respond. It may come a day when I can't respond to everyone, but for right now, I love responding to comments. And if it's a negative comment, I'll just keep you in prayer. Okay? But even if it's negative, I appreciate you coming to my channel too. Thank you so much. I love sweet potatoes. I tell you, when you do it like this and put a little bit of butter on it and a little cinnamon, it can't get no better unless you put it in a crust and have that whole sweet potato pie. So this is just like eating a sweet potato pie without the crust. You still get that sweet potato taste. Well, I'm gonna say goodbye for now, because I mean it's late. It's well past 2:30, and I have to go and pick up my little man from school. But thank you guys for watching, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button right there in the right hand corner of the screen. I would appreciate that. And I'm going to see you guys in my next video, okay? Alrighty, bye-bye.